everybody. This is an evening wind down class. It can certainly be done at any time of the day or night, but it's a nice grounding, calming, short routine to prepare you for sleep. So let's get into child's pose. And you can take your knees fairly wide, big toes can touch, and send the hips back, lower the head down. Allowing your hips to be heavy. Take some nice deep breaths here. You may feel your belly rise and fall against your thighs. Noticing any parts of the body making contact with the mat. Perhaps your forehead, parts of your arms, tops of your feet. Big inhale together, and all exhale it all out, all the way. Let's try that again. Big inhale, filling up, and exhale through the mouth, really releasing. Let's just do that one more time. Big inhale, fill up the lungs, fill up the belly. Open the mouth and sigh it out as you exhale. We're going to just add a little bit onto this child's pose by threading the arms. So you can come up just enough, lift the head, and thread your left arm under your right. Back of your hand resting down on the mat. And keeping your right arm where it is, just walk that hand forward. So the arm is quite long and straight. The wrist is lined up with the shoulder. And you can rest on the left side of your head. And from here, if you're not feeling any opening behind the left shoulder blade, you can roll back onto your left shoulder even more so, rounding the upper back. Pressing into the floor with the back of the hand, back of the arm to create some resistance. And feel that release behind the shoulder. And keep allowing the hips to be heavy, sinking down to the heels. And walk the hand back. Release the left arm. Come back into your child's pose, and let's do the other side. So the right arm will weave under the left, come onto the right side of the head, walk the left fingertips towards the front of your mat, and now find that magic spot where you start to feel the back of the shoulder blade opening up, making space. Really tuning into the sensation and how you can change the sensation by even the most subtle movements in the body, either by putting more pressure into the hand, rolling back a little bit more onto the shoulder, noticing what these micro movements can do to accentuate the pose and maximize benefits. From here, you're going to come right back up onto hands and knees. And let's take a couple of cat-cows here. So you're going to inhale, lift the heart. Bend the elbows slightly as you round out the back. Draw the belly towards the spine. Drop the head. Inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Press into the palms. Open the heart, looking forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, round out, really press into the mat, broadening up through the upper back. Good, and again, inhale, the belly drop like a hammock. And then exhale, press round it out. And then from here, we're going to take the ribs over to the right side. So I want you to puff out the right ribs to the right. You might feel your intercostal muscles around the ribs opening and stretching. Good, and now come down, dip the belly again back into your cow. Inhale. Exhale, round into your cat. And from this round, start to draw left ribs to left side. You can even draw the right head a little bit over to the right, accentuating the C curve shape that you're creating. Good, and let's just take it down and around, nice and slow. All the way up, over to the side, and dip it down. You can use the elbows to bring you down deeper into the pose, straightening them up at the top. The hips can start to move a little bit. And let's try to take it the other way now, exploring this direction, this side. Really focusing on the breath to help us let go of the day, or the days, or the weeks, or the years. Whatever you're holding on to, really using the breath as a tool for letting go. Beautiful. Good. And from here, we're going to come stay in our tabletop. If you need to have a little rest here, you can flip the wrists. Let's do that together. Let's flip our wrists, palms up. Give the wrists a little break. Fingers down. And this can be quite intense, especially if you're someone who types a lot on the keyboard. This is the counter pose to keyboard typing. Good, and let's flip it back. Coming into your tabletop, let's extend the right foot back. Press the right heel back so you have a nice stretch through the calf, pressing into the hands. And then from here, lift that leg up, flex the foot. Engage the belly just slightly so that you have stability. And let's just tap the toe down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bend the knee, draw it in. Inhale. Bend the knee, draw it in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Press it back. Bend the knees so the foot comes up towards the ceiling. You can stay here or reaching back with the left hand, see if you can grab hold of the foot. Press the foot into the hands. Good, and release into child's pose. Bring the hips back down. We're going to walk it over to the side, bringing it over to the right side. You can even stack the left hand on top of the right, but try to keep the hips planting down into the heels. Drop the head. So a little bit of movement before sleep helps us process. Movement helps us process. So we process the day with slow, gentle movements. And then we slowly ease our way into stillness. Hopefully in a state where we feel more clear and more settled. And take one more breath here in your side stretch child's pose. And come back to center, back onto hands and knees. Left leg extends back, ball of the foot pressing down, heel pressing away from you. belly is engaged. We'll lift the leg up, nice and slow, gentle, doesn't have to be high, and gently tap the toe down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The speed of our movement has a direct correlation to our nervous system. So if you find that you can't help but speed up, see if you can use your focus to slow down your movement, and notice how when you slow down your movement, everything slows down. The mind slows down. The breath can slow. And suddenly our nervous system settles too. Let's bend the knee and draw it in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And last time, draw it in. Good, extend back. Bend the knee, sole of the foot can come up towards the ceiling. Reach back with the right hand, hold the foot. Press into the hand, you can look down for balance. And release. Send the hips back down to child and walk the hands over to the left, stacking the right hand on top of the left. And send the hips back, especially right hip, down towards the right heel. You can bring your hands over to the left side as far as you'd like to go. Again, playing with those subtle movements to optimize pleasure and benefits of the pose. One more breath here. All right, and come back to center. And we're going to tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. But in this down dog, I'd like you to bring the feet quite wide as the width of your mat. Press into the palms and send the hips back. Good. And now exhale here in your down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose or drop the knees right down and come all the way to your belly. The legs now can be hip width apart. Draw your palms by your sides. You can turn your head one way. Bend your right foot and grab hold of the foot. And ever so slightly pressing front of the thigh, front of the hip to the floor. Release the foot, turn the head, hold left foot in the left hand. Drawing heel to your hip. Lovely, and release it down. Forehead down to the floor, interlace the fingers behind your back, lift the shoulders up and away from the floor. If you can't interlace the fingers, you can keep them open, reaching the fingertips back behind you. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale, lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, front of the pelvis presses down, front of the thighs, tops of the feet. So everything is working to make this pose functional and make it pleasurable. Let's try that again. Engaging legs, hips, lift the shoulders, And exhale. Release the hands under the shoulders and slowly press up back into your hands and knees. And just wag your tail here a little bit. From here, we're going to take a variation of half moon pose. So my left knee is going to come to the center of the mat. My heel is in line with that knee. Left hand comes down to the center of the mat in line with the knee. So we're drawing a line right down the center of the mat. I'm going to turn my body sideways so my right hip is stacking on top of my left. And I'm on my tippy toes of my right foot. I can stay here, and just this might feel like a lot of balancing happening, a little bit of shakes, which is totally fine. If you'd like to, you can start to bring that right leg up off the ground, flexing, pressing through the sole of the foot for stability. Use the belly for stability as well. And if you'd like, arms can come up, overhead. Some of you may want to bend the leg and hold the foot. And then reach it back down, bring the foot to the floor, and reach the right arm overhead, bringing a nice C curve into the body. So the right ribs are reaching up towards the ceiling. Fingertips reaching overhead to the floor. Beautiful. Now look down, both hands will come down. And we're just going to slide the right leg behind the left, coming into a cow face seat. So right leg behind the left, squeezing at the inner thighs, and have a seat on your mat. So you can bring your feet out quite wide. Pressing the outer edges of the feet down. Find your seat so you feel grounded through the sit bones. Hold on to the ankles to begin here. You can stay here as you settle into your hips, or some of you may want to fold over the legs. Reaching the arms out in front of you. You can bow the head and fold. Deep belly breaths. Feel yourself cascading over the legs. It's okay to round here. Really want to create the sensation of letting go before rest. So whatever you need to do to really let go mentally and physically, focus on that for now. We're going to slowly walk the hands back, unravel the legs. Come back to your wide downward dog. Feet are as wide as the mat. Feel the opening of the body, letting all the blood flow up and down the legs and the torso. We're going to do the other side, so the right knee is going to come down to the center of the mat. Right hand's going to come down as well. Left foot is going to reach back, left hip stacks on top of the right. So we're turning the body to the left side. And so you can just stay right here with the left foot planted. You can start to play with your balance by coming on the tippy toes, or you can lift that left leg right up in line with the hip. Left arm is welcome to rise if that feels good for you. And some of you may want to bind here so you can bend the knee, hold on to the foot. Have fun with your balance. Make it light and playful. Good, and then from here, you're going to release the leg if you're holding it. Let it come down to the floor. Reach the arm overhead, full side body stretch. and look down at the floor here. Both hands come down. We're going to now slide left leg behind the right, crossing at the knees, crossing at the thighs. And then come back to sit. Flare the feet out to either side, flexing the feet. So you're pressing the outer edges of the feet down, and that's important just so that we're not sickling the ankles, and we're also protecting the knees. Sitting here, eyes closed is always a nice way to connect. I'll turn off some stimulation from the outside world. And for those of you who want to fold, go ahead and fold, walking the hands forward. Otherwise, stay just as you are. Release. Breathe. Good, and slowly come on up. Unravel the legs. Come back into your wide-legged down dog. Good, and you're going to look forward. Step the left foot forward between your hands and turn to pivot the feet so that they're nice and wide and the outer edges of the feet are lined up with the edges of your mat. Walk the fingertips so that they're lined up under the shoulders. Flatten the back and look forward. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and start to fold, maybe walking the hands back between the legs if that's an option. And if you're quite close to the floor with your head, you can start to bend the elbows, pointing the elbows back between the legs. Good, and coming on up with a flat back here, back to the fingertips. Draw the heels in as the toes turn out and bend the knees. Walk the hands to the thighs and come on up, leaning on the thighs here. Draw the belly in, drop the seat down so that you're stacking the torso over the hips. And nice and slow, we're just going to come up to stand. Inhale, arms straight up. They touch at the top. And as you exhale, hands come through your center here and back to the thighs. We're going to do a shoulder dip. So left shoulder comes forward. You can gaze back towards the right. Inhale through center. Right shoulder dips. Inhale, press into the feet. Let's come all the way up. Exhale, come down. Hands to thighs, right shoulder dips. Inhale through center, left shoulder. Good, inhale all the way up. Good, and exhale, parallel your feet here, and we're going to come all the way back down to hinge. Keep the right hand under the face, left hand will peel, reach up, turn to twist, look at the ceiling. Exhale. Preparing the body in all different ways and directions. So that we can completely let go. Pivot the feet facing the front of the mat. Walk the hands to the front and step on back to your downward dog. Good. And then come to the knees and just swivel the feet in front of you. Bringing the soles of the feet together here. You can hold on to ankles or wrap the fingers around the big toes. Slide the shoulders up and back. And then from here, folding any amount, allowing the knees to fall towards the ground, releasing the head. And slowly roll yourself up to sit. Extend your right leg out. We're going to keep the left knee bent, knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Wrap the right arm around the knee. Bring the left hand behind you and come onto the fingertips so you can get some height here. Turn to twist to the left. Drawing the knee in towards your right shoulder. Good, and unravel. We're just going to switch. Right knee comes up. Right hand behind you. Wrap and hug. Find length here, pressing into the mat. Draw the knee into the left shoulder now. Turn to twist. And release. Scoot the hips towards the heels and come onto your back. Rolling all the way down. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest and roll it out. And we're just going to bring the feet straight up, thighs together. Relatively active, so without force, but gently pressing the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to your low belly. The elbows can fall down to the ground on either side of you. Staying connected to the breath. And we'll be here for a few breaths. This is a great pose to end with before bed. Feet up the wall or feet up the headboard of your bed is always a nice thing to do too if you have a headboard. But this is wonderful before bed. It decreases restlessness, reverses the flow of blood, and gives our heart a bit of a break so it doesn't have to pump blood in the same direction throughout the whole body. It also allows us to ground through the spine, back of the pelvis, hips, allowing us to settle and feel grounded. And you can slowly start to draw the knees in. Come to happy baby when you're ready. Hold the outer edges of the feet, soles of the feet towards the ceiling. And see if you can allow the back of the pelvis and hips to spread across your mat like butter. they're not lifting off. And then slowly draw the soles of the feet together, hold on to the outer edges of the feet and press the knees away. And then bringing the knees back together, you can slowly extend the legs long for Shavasana. Allowing the legs to be as wide as you comfortably can, arms by your sides, palms facing up. Or if you feel like you need further grounding tonight, you can always bring palms down or to your belly. So it's a nice ritual before sleep to just check in with yourself without getting too heady. Just a little review. Not so much about the day's events, but how you greeted yourself. Did you greet yourself with kindness? Can you celebrate any of the small goals you've accomplished or purposes you've fulfilled throughout your day? And even if moments of remorse arise, maybe you can hold on to those for the sake of learning and betterment. Hold on to them, breathe with them, through them. Maybe even be grateful for them, for the opportunity to rise. So that next time you can choose your responses, choose your reactions, and your perspectives as you wish. We just let those moments fly by. They've lost an opportunity. So once again, just ending with a feeling of gratitude for all the blessings in your day, in your life, including the ability to practice with your mind, your breath, and your body. I wish you a wonderful rest.